to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hi, I'm urban Christian artist Kayla James, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
This is Atina, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is your boy Easeman. You're listening to iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the world.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 Drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on iLive Radio, serving up audible treats like honey, always with a heavy beat drop.
Attention à tous les musiciens, groupes, associations, clubs et organisations qui représentent les styles collectifs de musique à travers le Canada. Le moment est venu de reconstruire nos genres de nations musicales collectives comme le hip-hop, le R&B, le jazz, le soul, le reggae, le gospel et plus unis. La Nation de la musique collective est une organisation à but non lucratif engagée dans le développement de la musique collective. Des adhésions gratuites sont disponibles dès maintenant. La Nation de la musique collective, une seule voix, la force dans l'unité.
Your number one local radio station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Jason Allen John, and I'm with Nicole Williams. This is the Wealth Effects Show brought to you by CTMS. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing today, Nicole?
Morning, guys. Morning. So excited for today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for joining us on the Wealth Effect. Today's special guest, we have Miss Onassis.
Hello.
Yes, it's going to be an amazing show. Definitely thankful for you guys continuously supporting us. Remember, I just want to say while you are here, ensure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, follow us and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast station, and be sure to share with everybody that you think can enjoy and learn from the information that we're sharing on the Wealth Effect.
Yes, that's great. That's great. So, how you guys doing? How you guys doing on this, March? We're getting into it. Toronto's freeing up a little bit in gray zone. So
I know, I saw that.
With the little bit of weather changing, we're going to get some more, activity.
Yes. So yes, we, as of Monday, they said Toronto and Peel region are effectively now in the gray zone. We have hit March. Last week, we had a couple of really nice sunny days. And I think just having the sun out, it just, put a smile on my face, gave me just some energy, excited me. How about you, Jack?
Absolutely. It was wonderful. I was even out there without a jacket. Like, I'm ready.
You're ready.
Summer on.
So are you one of those people that are just like, oh, I'm just gonna get to the spring weather? I don't. You know what it is? Sorry, I'm jumping, but like it's funny how warm it is today, but like in November when it's like this cold, it's like it's freezing.
It's freezing. I know.
I always like to say like I'm born in February, like I'm used to the cold. Like I'm just made for it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So introduce yourself, everyone who doesn't know you, including myself. This is my first time meeting you, so a pleasure to meet you virtually.
Hello, pleasure to meet you. My name is Jacqueline Onassis, and I am the owner of Alluring Interiors, and it's a full service home staging company, and we also offer home decor as well.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I see your stuff all over the internet, and I know you work with a lot of realtors, and obviously I think you and Nicole are close. Sure you guys could talk about more about that, but it seems like you're all over there. So recently I've been going to Home Sense a lot. So that's my only home decor experience.
When Home Sense was closed and I finally got to go in for the first time, it was like the holy gates had opened up and I was able to shop again. And when I went in, I was like in love with everything. Like my cart was full. It was crazy.
Yeah. I think Home Sense has a cult following in my opinion, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess, tell us a little bit about yourself and, tell us about your company, Alluring Interiors, and how did you get into it?
So Alluring Interiors was birthed about 16 years ago. I was working in the hospital and I decided after my third child, I'm a mother of three, that I really wanted to follow this passion. It was a childhood passion. And at the time, it wasn't really like something that we did. So I kind of followed in my mom's footsteps, working in the hospital. And that was what I did until I decided to start my own business. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And the thing is why really I was, drawn to have Jackie on the show is because people have to realize that there's different ways of building wealth, right?
Mhm.
And we all know that entrepreneurialism is just one of the great ways and great avenues for people to, really get out there, invest in themselves, invest in in their own skills and their own talents. And sometimes people dismiss or don't realize that wealth building can come from just having a business, and then how can we scale the business in order to achieve additional streams of revenue. And we'll talk about that with Jackie as well, because she has now some additional services that she offers, including her academy, that are ways to help promote other newer designers, but it's also a way that of the way of the world, in the sense of how can we start through education teaching other people, leveraging our own skills, and then also helping to provide an awesome service as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
That sounds like a that sounds like a lot. So
I know.
so decor, so as I guess as a male, I know there's males that love decor.
Yes.
But I know I know a couple myself. But tell me about how you got into it and what inspired you. Were you always like someone that was into design and decor even before you started your business?
So my first influence for decor was actually my father. He was really into arts. He wasn't into like home decor, but that was my first example of a creative. And I'm very much a creative. My father's very much a creative. So when I was young, instead of watching cartoons, I would tune into the show. It was called the Lynette Jennings Show. At the time, she was like the Martha Stewart of TV. And I found myself always like so interested. But as I got older, it wasn't a thing unless you were like wealthy, home decor wasn't a thing. Like nobody was hiring an interior decorator. So that's how I ended up in the hospital. And then after I had my third child, I was like, it was depressing working in the hospital and then doing other people's homes. So I was on maternity leave and I used that time to fix up my own home. Wow. And when people would come to my home, they would be like, who did this? And I was like, me? And then they would be like, oh, can you come do our home? And that's how I really got started. So I would go out and I would do other people's homes, like my friends and stuff, not for pay or anything. And I realized that I really, really love this. So I took a part-time job at like the Bombay company. And I was like, this is cool. It didn't pay a lot. I think it was like $5.25 an hour. But at the time, it filled this need, this void that I had for like wanting to do decor and get in touch with that. So I worked there maybe for 4 or 5 years. I really enjoyed it. I got employee of the month every single month. I really took it serious. Like I would dress up, I would approach the customers that came in, and I would literally sell them everything on the floor. Like I was really good at it. So,
hey, wow.
So that was it. That was the first taste. And from that, I was looking in the back of a magazine one day. It was a house and home magazine. And I seen an ad for home staging. I was like, what is this? So then I started doing some research on it and I loved it. I love the fact with home decor, that takes a while for you to do the shopping and build up stuff for the client. So it can take like up to 6 months even to finish off an entire decor home. But with staging, you go in, you do a consult, you spend a day staging and it's done, and you get an instant gratification from your clients right away, right? So it's awesome.
I'm sure when do you ever stage people houses and then they're like, okay, and now I don't even want to sell it. Like if you could just do everything
Hello.
exactly the way
That happened yesterday.
Oh, wow.
It happens all the time. But the good thing about that is when they say they don't want to leave, I just prompt them into buying my decor package. So now you see what can be done with a stage. So basically they say, come do my next house. I said, you don't have to live like this.
Yes.
It's wonderful to see it staged. But now when you move into your new home, we'll start right off the bat and you'll have a gorgeous home right from the beginning.
And you'll be in love. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, you know, keeping in line with, you know, talking about entrepreneurialism and your business, just what are some things that you do within your own day or, you know, throughout your week to keep yourself motivated, the tactics that you use to keep yourself motivated as an entrepreneur?
So that's a really good question. And sometimes I think a lot about that question, but I think that I'm really a natural motivated person because I'm actually doing my dream job. Like I wake up and when I know I'm going to this job to create and be creative and have that space where I can go in and express, that for me is motivation. Like I love what I do.
Okay. So just the passion and love for your business is what keeps you motivated. Okay.
16 years and I still love every single day waking up, going to this job, doing what I do, continuing to do good work. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
So I guess, again, it started as an idea. Did you have any family members or friends that encouraged you to like push you over the edge to do it? Or was it just all your own?
I would actually say it was the opposite. But I'm an Aquarius and I'm stubborn. So when everybody was saying, don't do it, it's not practical, I was like, I'm actually going to do it. And I'm actually going to excel.
Good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what has changed in the real estate industry where like, I feel like staging has become such a importance in the sale of a home? I think when, you know, I've been in mortgage industry now, I guess 8 years now. And when I first started, I don't remember people like really, or real estate agents talk a lot about staging, but now it seems like this is like, if you don't stage your house, like you're crazy.
Yeah.
So what's so interesting about you saying that, when I started this, staging again, like it was only model homes were staged. You would go into a house and they were just selling their houses anyway. So I think as time grew, like you understand, like money is a big thing when you're in real estate. So you want to get the most. And I feel that once people started staging, bringing it into residential homes and not just model homes, it caught on. And that was when people were like, okay, so if the next house is staged, we got to stage as well. So now I feel like I really haven't seen much homes that go on the market that aren't staged, which is really awesome because you really need to stage it to see the true potential of the home.
Yeah, and it's actually quite strange. The other day I did see a listing and as soon as I looked at it, I'm like, this is how they presented their home. And it just right away became a turnoff, right? So this is just, you know, the psyche in a sense that we're all dealing with, and the importance of how staging has really come in and really changed the course of the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes for fun, I will post those homes and say, call me.
Call me. Yes.
That's and you know what it is? It's like I find sometimes why people sometimes wouldn't use staging, or sometimes people don't want to use a professional because they feel like the cost is more, but they sometimes don't realize the added value or the savings or just the time that someone like yourself puts into your craft in prior to like meeting somebody. So it's like, you know, you're not getting me coming here and just throwing things in your house. You're getting 16 years of experience for me to know what to put here and how it can add value into your life. And I find, you know, I just find obviously I'm in sales, so is Nicole, and we have to sometimes sell ourselves, but then it's like, what are you doing? Like if you don't use a professional, because I see too many people make mistakes, and you could leave thousands of dollars on the table by not using a professional.
I've seen you share statistics, and maybe you can share this with us. What is the actual average, I guess, increase that a person gets as a result of staging?
Well, every property is different, and every company is different, but I can only speak for myself. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Without giving you like any numbers, like, because I don't have any statistics right now, but it is a lot. And I will have clients message me, realtors message me and be like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Like we're doing like 100K over asking, like it's ridiculous. It's dumb. And it would be silly not to stage and get those numbers. You can get numbers, but those type of numbers, you need to be staging. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, that's like that, and that makes sense. Like you want, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a resume, or if you're gonna meet somebody, you want to put your best foot forward. So if you're gonna sell your house, you want your house to look the best, right?
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of things that you guys can do to like cover up things that are inefficiencies in the house, right? So it's just
absolutely
it's very similar, and it's interesting because you called yourself a creator or creative, right? So it's very how you look at it in that sense, because you are creating, the house is like a piece of art, and you're
absolutely
out of it, right? So that's like, I love the way you described yourself in that sense, because that gives a lot of credit to your industry, and even how you look at yourself as a professional, right? Because sometimes when you see creative, and I used to think that self about myself too, when you see creative, you think like artists drawing, like people who sing, and that's what you usually in the box. But I think as I've gotten older, I realized creative is much bigger than that. And
it really is. It really, really is. And it's to the point where I can go into a home and I have a time schedule. I usually have a time schedule because I have photos done directly after, so nothing's out of place. But I can go into a home and we bump into an issue, and it's kind of like, how do we fix this issue? Because I need to stay on task, on schedule. And it doesn't matter what it is. I will always find a way, even if I have to use floss to tie, like whatever the case may be, like I'm going to find a way and it's going to get photographed right at 3. My assistant always says with Jacqueline, there is no option B. It's option A, and that's it. We're getting it done.
Oh, I love
You're getting it done. I love that. I love that. Just knowing that we're obviously, we were speaking a little bit earlier prior to going live, and even just now saying that Toronto is coming out of the stay-at-home order and now getting into that gray zone. People are just still trying to figure out what's happening, the pandemic, just the times that we're in. And we just been asking, some of our guests, what do you do for self-care? Like, what do you do to like just keep yourself together, keep yourself, that extra love, that extra TLC? What are some things that you do for self-care, especially as an entrepreneur as well?
So right off the bat, even before all of this crazy stuff was going on, I'm big on huge on self-care.
Yeah.
So I have morning and evening routines that consist of like my facials, prayer, meditation. I take bubble baths, rose baths at least 3 or 4 times a week. I love on me a lot.
Yes.
I
and
journal,
it's true.
I journal. I keep journals. Like,
wow, that's great.
Oh, do you know what? That's honestly probably one of the best parts of my days. Like, I really enjoy that self time.
And it's good because even if you visit Jackie's Instagram page, which she'll share those details with everybody, she does actually have some self-care tips, right? Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. I even have like a little Amazon shop where I post, where I put in everything in the Amazon shop that I use for self-care, because I will post stuff on my story and everybody's like, where'd you get that from? Or, oh my gosh, I love this. So why not share? I'm a big sharer. So I like to share everything.
Yes, I love that. So if you visit her page, which your page is, just to remind everybody.
Alluring Interiors.
Yes, they can visit your Amazon shop and get some stuff that they can also partake in for self-care. Yeah.
That's dope. I'm on that. That's kind of cool.
Oh, he's looking. I see Jason's eyes. He's looking now.
Gotta keep that information.
We love it.
Yeah, like you always gotta learn, right? So
yes.
Man, that's amazing. And it's like, even myself, like through the home ownership process and stuff like that, I've used interior decorators myself. I've gotten my house staged as well. So I can't do none of that stuff. And it's just, you know what it is? It's like the little things that you guys save. Like you could find, like me, I'm probably I'll spend thousands of dollars on something, and you may find it like a little bit cheaper that looks just as nice. And that's the value in your efforts, right? So it's kind of
absolutely.
So as far as like entrepreneurship, we're gonna be going into a break in in a minute. But I just wanted to even touch on just, you're talking about like everything's to schedule. So I could imagine your career is very demanding, and then like it has to be hard planning, in your industry with like how's this selling and like your inventory and stuff like that. So I guess I want to get into another part of entrepreneurship where it's more like inventory management and client care, because I think a lot of people, we miss that when we want to get into business. And I could have a feeling that your business has a lot of those challenges because there's so much unpredictable side in it, right? With the time of real estate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're gonna again, this is the Wealth Effect Show with Jason Allen John and Nicole Williams. We are with Jacqueline here, and we're just presenting her Alluring Interiors business and just talking about different things about, the state of the industry and herself and entrepreneurship. Nicole's not here in studio with me today, but we got her on the Zoom, getting ready for that course, right?
Yes, getting ready for Money Boss Up. So when we come back, we're going to actually dive a little bit into what Jason was just talking about with Jackie, which was how do you, the business part of managing Alluring Interiors. Yes, we see all the pretty stuff, but what goes into the back end of the actual business of Alluring Interiors. So thank you, and stay with us as we
This is Jamie
just
Sparks,
go into break.
and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is Jermaine Robbins, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Yo, this is Kiana O'Quinn, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Lavinia J from the UK, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
Attention, all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation. Genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. Collective Music Nation, one voice, strength in unity.
This is Miss Care keeping you connected with your iLive 5x5, brought to you by iLive Music, sponsored by Independent Hype, and powered by The Hook Entertainment. Contribute to the conversation by using hashtag iLive5x5.
For the latest and greatest in soul music and more, stay tuned to iLive Radio throughout the week.
Connect with our team at iliveradio.com or follow us at iLive Radio across social platforms.
The number one hit music station.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
And welcome back. This is Jason Allen John from the Wealth Effect Show with Nicole Williams, sponsored by CTMS. And we're back. Is our guest still here?
Yes. Yes, we are here. Thank you guys for joining us another Saturday. As the weather, hopefully is going to start turning its course. It was a very sunny week. We are joined by Jacqueline Onassis of Alluring Interiors. And just before we went on a break, Jason asked actually a really good question. Did you want to just re-ask the question again, Jason?
Yeah, so I have to imagine being an a stager with real estate, that like a house can sell in a week. It could take a month. It could take 60 days. So I'm sure planning your inventory and your time is very important in your job. And I think that as an entrepreneur, we sometimes don't schedule ourselves properly, because I think sometimes, because people think we're self-employed, we have all the time in the world. So I'm just curious because I know there's so much unpredictability, like what I say with the timing of real estate. How do you plan for that, and how do you manage your business with that?
So that's a very good question, Jason. To be honest, you can imagine being in the industry for 16 years, I have accumulated a lot of stuff. So we can literally stage about 30 houses full to the brim with all our inventory at one time. So usually we are very, very busy. Like last week, we had 5 stages. This week, we have 5 stages. I believe in family time, so we don't work evenings and we don't work weekends. So our week is really jam-packed, Monday to Friday. We utilize all those hours in the day. To prep in the morning, we usually start at 8 and we arrive on a property at around 11 o'clock. We stage till 3, go back to the warehouse, unpack whatever we haven't used. So we're very organized with inventory. We have to be. I love to color coordinate just because it keeps, I'm visual. So everything needs to be color coordinated and labeled. So with that being said, I do have a team of 5 girls, and I have an assistant. And believe me, without my assistants, things wouldn't look so good. It's not just me. I'm the creative, but they are 1000% my backbone.
Oh, wow. That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you a follow-up. When did you realize you needed an assistant? Like, what was that point? Because I think that's another great thing for entrepreneurs. Like, when do you go ask for help?
That's also a very good question. And I'll tell you why, because I think I can do everything. So when I started, I would literally ram my car, my small Honda, with all these things. And I'm a professional puzzle creator now because I know like how to get everything in there. So when I really decided to get help, and another thing, I think I have like these little controlling issues because I want everything to be perfect and be in the same and I don't want to correct anybody. So I had to let go of that. And that took a lot for me. So I would say about 5 years ago is when I said, okay, Jack, that's enough. You got to let go some of the control. You got to get a team. And we've been killing it ever since.
Okay. That's amazing. That's good to hear. Because sometimes that added help helps you grow, right? Did you see some growth in your business since that, or what have you?
Oh, 1000%. 1000%. We cover so much more now. Instead of me being obsessive over one property, we cover so much more now.
Yeah. And that goes to, what they talk about, the right brain versus the left brain, because creatives typically from a business perspective aren't necessarily as detail oriented when it comes to like the business of the company, but they know how to make things look great. So is that something that you feel has contributed to your overall success as well?
Absolutely, because I would be the first to say it. My back office, without my assistant, I fully embody the right brain, right? The creative side. That's all me. That's all me. So I definitely needed help in that aspect, and I have it, and she's amazing. Wouldn't trade her for the world.
Yeah. So this is something that's very important as an entrepreneur, anybody who is listening and it is in a traditional quote unquote creative space. It doesn't hurt to get a team of people that help to complement your styles and your strengths, right? Because, we all have weaknesses. And instead of trying to correct all of our weaknesses, find people that can actually complement what we are lacking, and then also will help propel and bring out the best in us.
Absolutely. 1000%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's important. It's just having the right partnerships and getting that out of the people. So how do you motivate your employees and your staff? Like, I know there's that effect that we have. I know some people will call it like game theory, but like in the sense, like how do you make someone be so motivated in your business to work to their maximum potential for you essentially and your clients?
So the same way that I'm good to myself, I am also good to my employees. I treat them weekly. I treat them monthly with our big staff meeting. And I have a bubbly personality. Like when I go to work every single day, like I hype them up. And sometimes they don't even need hyping up because they're just so used to me. So they know how to act.
Yeah, so the energy is contagious in a sense.
Because I'm huge on energy. I'm really, really huge on it. So it's so important. And they are a reflection of me. So sometimes when I send one of my assistants to do a consult, I say, do the Jackie O walk.
Yes. So you said you have an assistant plus a team of 5. These are 5 stagers.
Correct. So we have our admin assistant. She takes care of all the back office stuff. And then I have my lead stager, which is Joya. And she is the only other person that I send on consults. She actually came to me when she was 16 years old. I did a career day at the Notre Dame High School, and she came on as a co-op student, and she's been with me ever since.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah, she came back every single summer, every single holiday. And again, that just lends to how good I treat my employees.
Wow,
that's great.
You never left.
That's really
Yes.
good. That's something to say about you. So how about hiring? Like that tells me, like, are you just like like you hire based on how it feels, or how's your experience been with employees or turnover?
So we have been, whenever we do hire, we do send out a disc profile. So I usually try and hire the opposite of me.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
Right, because then they fill my blind spot. So where I am strong, they take care of my weaknesses, if that makes much sense. Yeah.
I don't want to get it wrong. Is it possible you can describe to the audience what a disc profile is? I kind of know, but I don't want to. I think maybe.
So that's okay. That's okay. My assistant sends them out with whenever they send our resume, she sends them out. But basically, the disc profile, it's a personality assessment.
Okay.
So it basically assesses your personality. There's 4 categories. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are, but it really groups you into different categories and what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. We usually, the people that we choose, we usually pick them based on what what would balance myself, because I'm really hands-on, very in tuned, and so it's very important.
I'm actually happy that you brought up the disc profile, because it is something that is strongly recommended, not even as an entrepreneur, but just everybody should know what type of personality they are, right? You know, some people are, to your point, some people are very, high creatives, right? Some people are a little bit more, they show more empathy than others, right? They kind of show you, like, what to your point, your strengths are, potentially where your weaknesses are. And then as you're building a team, why it's good to know everybody's disc profile, because it allows you to see the higher chances of there being synergy between the team members.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then we are able to support each other, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that the disc profile, it really helps definitely with hiring.
Yes.
And I went through a lot of hirees where it was kind of like they just actually wanted to come and learn, and there was actually no support there. They just wanted to come and learn and kind of maybe start their own thing.
Yeah.
So this is important to me when we were hiring, is to, find out what their long-term plan is, whether it's to support the team or if there's a different motive there. But again, like, these are the things that you go through when you're running a business, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
But
I love that.
Didn't you say that? It's good to pivot, because I think Nicole was mentioning that you now teach individuals how to become a stager. Is that true?
Oh my gosh, this is my baby. So I have just launched our Alluring Interiors Academy, which I get to teach what I love, and it's such an amazing feeling. So I do have they do this online course in the modules, and I do have the girls come out to a property with us, and I walk them through the property on how we stage, so step by step. And honestly, like I'm so in my element when I'm doing that, because it's like full circle, like, you know, being in the course, doing it myself, and now being able to teach what I love, like it's amazing. I love it.
Well, you can just
So
see
just
the face.
yes, you can definitely see she brimmed up, right?
Yeah.
I love this. You guys don't even understand.
Yeah. So for somebody who is looking to become a stager or an interior designer, just so that, you know, we bring it back, they could sign up for your own academy. So the Alluring Interior Academy.
Absolutely.
They would go online, and a part of the program outside of being online is you would take them for some hands-on training.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
We do 3 properties, because I'd like to give them like a condo, say a vacant condo, when you add furniture, what happens, the layers that you create. And then condos are smaller, so they can understand. Then I could do a townhouse, and then I do a larger scale home, so they can understand the steps that are taken in every single home. Like the fundamentals are the same for each home, but you have to really understand scale. Like a condo would have smaller size furniture, less accessories than a 4-bedroom home.
Oh, wow. So why would someone want to, like, who's this market for? Like, who's an individual like that would take this?
Take home staging?
Yeah.
I think somebody who loves decor, somebody who, you know what, for me, when I started home staging, I felt like I already had a career, and I've changed my career. So somebody who wants a career change, somebody who wants freedom, wants to spend time with their kids and run their household, but still be able to go out. And, you know, there's different levels. So you can start off small. You don't even need to own inventory. You can just do consultations, go to a home, tell a homeowner how to prepare for the market, like what they need to do in their home, just providing recommendations. There's no inventory needed. Or you can have inventory and do full scale home staging. So it's really up to you, but it gives you the freedom to decide what you want to do in your business and how you want to present it.
Yeah. So really, it sounds like to me, this is just an opportunity, you know, for somebody who may want to become an entrepreneur, maybe thought about it, maybe has a creative side, and now says, okay, well, let me put my hat in the ring. And before they probably just kind of delve full force, your course will at least give them the ability to see if this is something that really is there for them. And then because you're giving them the hands-on, they probably from there can decide, okay, yes, I'm 100% in. Is that what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's honestly, it's just amazing how where the world's pivoting and how education is changing and the way we are learning. And how us as professionals or individuals can provide knowledge to people, because I think that's what it's about. Like, you know, I think all the time people think we're always in competition with people and you don't want new people to come into the industry or take your business, but like I've always been a belief there's a lot of business.
There's just so much. You can never, like, we can't do everything. There's just so much. There's enough for everybody. And you need to have that mindset that there is enough for everybody. So, you know.
So this is, you know what, I'm seeing an underlying theme, Jason, from a couple of our past guests with the education piece, you know? So even Ashley last week when she, with her course that she offers online, you know, Alluring Interiors has their course. There's so many options out there. So this is just Robson Smith. Yes. So it's like, this is just another, the money boss up. And this is the part about when we talk about wealth, right? They say, you know, the average millionaire has 7 different streams of income, you know, and this is just another layered opportunity for that stream of income, because it's still within your wheelhouse, you know, within the interior design wheelhouse. But now it's something that is somewhat automated because people take the course as they see fit, and while you're still building out your other model. Yeah, I love it.
It's a lot of good brand building too and awareness. It's just like, people seeing that you're showing, and I'm sure sometimes it happens. It's just like, well, you know what, you need to hire her, or at the end of the day, like it may be over. Maybe it might be a brand new stager, and they would get a opportunity at a house and it's too big, and they could maybe combine with you and stuff. So I think it's a great sales pitch too, and just showing how open you are to just like society in general, and just teaching
and collaboration. Yeah.
I agree.
So what advice would you give to somebody who knows that they're passionate about home staging and they want to become a stager? What advice would you give somebody who's just brand new?
So I want to tell you about this lady. She had called and inquiring about the course. She's actually a flight attendant for Air Canada, but she said she always had this passion to do home decor, and she wanted to take the course. So, I mean, I think that's amazing. Like, she already had her career, but the way the world's going right now, especially with like non-fly and all this stuff, for her to now want to get into the home staging, I think that's so amazing, because at the end of the day, like I said, she can make it as small or as big as she wants to. So I think it's an amazing like second career. And I think I told her that I think this would be so amazing for her. Again, she can start it small or take it big and run with it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great field to work in. There's so much freedom. So she can do her flying, and she can also have a home staging company. Like, what's better than that?
Especially with the flight attendants, they work like their hours are distributed. They could probably accomplish that very easily with that freedom.
Yes.
Just on stage in a bit, is there like individuals that are in the industry, like maybe even in Canada or outside of Canada, that you aspire to, or that you followed when you were starting in your career that's early?
You know what? That's a really good question. I think, without sounding crazy, I think the biggest person to aspire to be is just me being a better me. I don't actually own a television, so I don't watch HGTV. I don't watch any television or anything like that. So I don't even know who is in and who's not in. What I do know is I want to be, or I'm aspiring to be, the biggest thing to me, my family, my kids. And that's my honest opinion.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. That's
I know.
That's a unique answer too. And I think your industry also is like, it's a bit obscure like that. So it's not like, you hear like top real estate agents and stuff like that. And even sometimes in me and Nicole's industry, the mortgage industry, it's more of like a background stuff.
Yes.
So is it just like, I guess for you, are you paying attention to the styles and the colors and what's the theme of the year and what's going on in interior decorating and stuff like that? So more like,
again, I will be very honest. I'm really authentic. So if it feels good in the home, like I always say, that home speak to me. So yesterday, even when I was doing this property and I was finished, and the homeowner said, "How did you pick these colors for my home?" I say that every home I go into and do a consultation, the home speaks to me. It tells me what it wants. But when I walked into her home, in her front office, she had this orange desk chair, and the rest of her home didn't have any color in it. So I added orange throughout the home. It looked so amazing, and she was so happy with it. But the home spoke to me. It told me it needed orange, so I gave it to her.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So we're coming up into our next break. Again, this is Jason Allen John from The Wealth Effect with Nicole Williams. We have our guest on the line.
Hi, this is Michonne Young, and you're listening to iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from all around.
This is Ronnie Sia, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
It goes down right here on iLive Radio.
Yo, this is Razan here, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way we listen to radio.
What's up, everybody? This is Cy Smith, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
My beautiful people, it's your man Tayanas, and right now you got it locked to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio around the world, baby.
Nothing makes you look, feel, and perform better than a tailor-made suit. Just like a tailor-made suit, a mortgage is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Canadian Tailored Mortgage Solutions will customize a mortgage to perfectly suit your needs. Come and get fitted for your mortgage today at 1-877-834-9346 or reach us on the web at ctmortgagesolutions.com. COVID safety protocols are in place. Brokerage license number 13228.
This is Miss Care keeping you connected with your iLive 5x5, brought to you by iLive Music, sponsored by Independent Hype, and powered by The Hook Entertainment. Contribute to the conversation by using hashtag iLive5x5.
For the latest and greatest in soul music and more, stay tuned to iLive Radio throughout the week.
Connect with our team at iliveradio.com or follow us at iLive Radio across social platforms.
You're listening to iLive Radio.
Here are some words of wisdom. Don't change your station. Don't change your station.
And we're back. This is The Wealth Effect with Jason Allen John and Nicole Williams, sponsored by CTMS. And we're back again for the last half of our show. We got our wonderful guest, Jacqueline Onassis, and it's been amazing, all the stuff that I've learned today about interior decorating and just how you manage your business. I love how you stay in the zone. You sound like you sound like kind of like Jordan and these guys. Like you just get into your your zone, and you're not worried about the competition. You're just worried about becoming the best individual, and I highly respect that. So it's kind of like, when they say horses, when they race, they have on these blinders and they can't see their side, because if they look to the left or the right, they would slow down. So you're just on this path that's like straight ahead, and I love that. I love to love it. Love it.
It's crazy. I used to say that I was a workaholic until COVID came in, and I got to slow down and I got to really see what it's about. And I really am just passionate about what I do. So I'm no longer calling myself a workaholic. I'm calling myself a passionholic.
I love that. And again, the importance of having Jacqueline on is to show people that there are different ways of building wealth, because what you are building as far with your company and Alluring Interiors is something that if you choose to leave later on for your children, the brand in itself, we and I think this is something that we should talk about, the power of the brand, right? The same way how when we think of Just Do It, we think of it's synonymous with Nike, we think of McDonald's. These are powerful brands outside of just a hamburger, right? So when we think about building wealth, it's about the whole package. What can we do to help build a brand, have a scalable business where we can tangibly impact the lives of other people? Because Jackie has shared that outside of just supporting for her family, she's also helping to contribute to the lives of 6 other individuals who are part of her team. So these are things sometimes that when we think about business, it's not just your traditional businesses that we need to keep in mind. There's so many different opportunities, so many different ways of building wealth. And I love the fact that you've even now have an add-on through your Alluring Interiors Academy, So let's talk a little bit about, when you got into the business, did you ever think about the power that the brand would have, the power of your actual brand?
So what's interesting about that is when I started, there was nobody in this industry that looked like me. It was a lot of older white women. And so for me, I felt like I needed to make a place in this industry. And to be honest with you, when it started happening, it just really started going. And I realized it was my community that was pushing me forward. They saw this young Black girl trying to do her thing, and they totally started referring me. So majority of my business is word of mouth. Like I don't do any marketing, and we stay crazy, crazy, crazy busy. So I would have to say that my community really like supported me 1000%. So in with the brand building, I felt like I should stay true to who I am, and just give what I have. And my tagline is, I don't love decor. I don't like decor. I don't even love decor. I have a freaking passion for it.
Yes. Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. And that all ties into the brand as well, right? And the brand really is you when we think about it.
Yes.
It is you.
It
Yeah.
is.
And again, that there is power in that, right? People recognize, I know Jason said earlier that he had never personally met you, but he's seen you, like, even though he never met you, he knows you, right? And that's the power of the brand and all of those things. And those are things that we have to keep in mind as we are building businesses and we are entrepreneurs, whether it is you're in a product-based business or a service-based business. There is a brand behind each and every one of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you come up with your name?
Yes.
Now that we're on the branding.
So that's a good question. So basically, I had no idea. I just knew that I wanted to say beautiful homes. So I used the thesaurus and I searched up beautiful and I picked alluring. It sounded so sexy. So I was like, definitely. And then another word for homes, interiors.
Yes. Yes. So a play on words is in a
play on
sense.
words, yeah. And I just love it. It is so me. Like, and now I will see people and they'll be like alluring dolls. Like they love it. That word.
Yes.
It is really me.
Yeah, that's amazing how you could build something on that. I like to say your background looks really nice. Like it's, I guess it's part of your agent stuff. Like
yes, yes.
Office.
Okay. It looks really nice. Like I guess everything has a place.
Everything has a place, and that is the truth.
Is that a jaguar behind you, or is it what?
It's my spirit animal.
Is it a jaguar?
Yes.
I got that.
I have two, and they're both here. I identify with flamingos because I'm girly and pretty, and this is my determination. Like, yeah. So
I like jaguars too.
Of me.
I like jaguars too. They're the fastest animal, and they have that. It's kind of.
They're very sexy too, to be honest.
With their eyes, right?
Their structure, yes. They have that, like they just pull you right in. You know, I love it.
It's alluring.
It is. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay, so as we are approaching we're coming towards the end of the show. I do want to recap, and I want to say thank you again for joining Jason and myself, Nicole, on The Wealth Effect, brought to you by CTMS. We are joined again with Jacqueline Onassis of Alluring Interiors, one of Canada's top home stagers and interior designers, and the amazing ability that she has had over the 16 years to really come in and leave a magnificent footprint, in our society, to where we've even said, realtors have now decided that not only, because of Jackie, but the power of home staging, that it is a part of that business model, real estate, right? So again, did you just want to recap any little thing that you want to share with us about your company, anything that you have that is up and coming, anything that you're working on?
So I want to thank you guys for having me, for sure. Please call Alluring Interiors if you want any home staging, any home decor. We love it. We'll do an amazing job for you, get you top dollar. If you're interested in home staging, becoming a home stager, you definitely got to check out our course. It is amazing. You're going to love it. I am teaching you all my secrets, everything I've learned in the 16 years, everything. I've done all the failing, so I've mastered it now, so you guys can take advantage of being winners in this industry.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. And I just got a personal question. I wonder, you're in staging and stuff, and I know you're involved in real estate, and but do you ever feel like you could understand some sort of trends and what's going on in the market before it happens, based on what you're seeing your client, as realtors or customers, or when they're calling you? Like, do you notice like things that are going on in the market at all?
So to be honest with you, let's just talk about for a second when COVID first hit.
Yeah.
And my phone was giving me anxiety. It was ringing off the hook. And I was so confused. I had to ask God, like, is this a sign or is this a test? I didn't know if I was supposed to be taking these jobs because we didn't know what COVID was.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see, like, even right now, my work is usually seasonal. We do stay busy year round, but then there's like a period of time. So it's from March till say August where we're super duper busy. But when COVID hit, it was like, I was turning down jobs because I honestly didn't know what it was, as you guys could imagine. It was very scary, but it was like everybody wanted to sell their home. So it was very unpredictable because I was like, what is this? With that being said, it was very unusual. So it does have its times where it goes up and down. However, like I said, from March to August is our busiest month and it stays high. And then, you know, September time when people are getting nestled into getting back to school and, you know, just taking care of home, that's when it slows down for business.
Okay.
But because of COVID, you were noticing that you were busy throughout.
Yeah, like
what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think last year was one of my biggest years.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
And that is the trend, if we want to be honest, Jason, because for you and myself as well, we can echo that the real estate market has just been bonkers. It was to the point where we're like, are we in a pandemic or are we not in a pandemic? You know,
I was confused.
I was confused, me as well, right? And then now we see that the average, so they came out saying that the average price of a home in the Toronto area has just hit past the $1 million mark, right? So that's just to show you that the real estate market has been super busy and that it's actually outperformed a lot of the other sectors.
Well, technically, and you know, we only have a couple of minutes left, but a few things on the real estate market. The residential real estate market is 10% of the Canadian economy. So take that in. So Jackie, you're a huge participant in that. So of us in financial services and things, but like that is a huge effect. So you could see the government, you know, wants to protect the real estate market and everything that's going on. And I just kind of want to touch on just, you know, as the last few minutes, just rates and stuff like that. I know Jackie said a little bit off of what you discussed, but let me bring it in. Like we're seeing slight rises in interest rates. But we're also seeing decreases in the variable rate. So that means to everybody, it means in the short term, we're probably not going to see too much rises, but it seems like in the long term rates to be going up. So I feel like, again, we talk about planning and Jackie's a big planner. Everybody has to sit down and, you know, plan their finances right now because it's starting to seem like the debt is becoming the asset, not the house. So you got to plan your debt wisely.
That is it. That is it.
And I read something where they said that they were just printing like millions or billions of dollars out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's going to have the inflationary pressures on us, you know, eventually as well. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would probably notice it. I'm sure you'll notice it in your cost, Jackie, like things are becoming more expensive to get done. So like it's affected how much you charge your clients and everything. Right. So
absolutely. And even down to just going to the grocery store, like everything's so much more.
Everybody has to be very prepared. So again, you got to use professionals like Jackie to get your top dollar when you get your houses. You got to speak to me and Nicole to make sure you get your great advice when it comes to mortgages. But I think what you're going to do with the Wealth Effect Show is to show people that the assistance that professional advice gives you in when you're building your wealth. So you don't lose that few $1,000s over just thinking you could do everything yourself. And you know, I think it's very important. And you know, we're got a minute left, and thank you very much for coming on our show. This is the Wealth Effect Show, and then I guess I'll get you to close it off. We got like 30-40 seconds left.
Yes. Again, so I want to say thank you, Jackie, for joining us with the Wealth Effect. It was an amazing conversation. Again, people, there are so many different ways that we can build wealth, become entrepreneurs. Don't get stuck in the box. And if you want to connect with Jackie, please check her out on Instagram at alluring.interiors.
You got it.
Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Hello there, this is Benjamin Clementine and listen to iloveradio.com.
Hey, what's up, Toronto? My name's Bosco, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
This is Dwight Drummond from CBC News Toronto, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
Hey, what's going down, man? It's your boy Trix, a.k.a. the Human Jump Off, man. You locked into iLive Radio. They changed the way I listen to radio, man.
Well, y'all listen to iLive Radio. My name is Steve Boyd of Parliament Funkadelic, and we want to thank iLive Radio for keeping the funk alive all over the world.